You're working hard to find work. You're putting yourself out there, getting those applications in, hoping for a call back, maybe getting to the interview. Let's get you to the place where you are getting the job. This webinar is all about developing your personal brand and specifically about the 30-second commercial.
You may have heard this be called the elevator pitch. And I think that that's okay still, but how many people do you really meet on the regular in an elevator these days? It's time to get with the times.
So the primary goal of your 30-second commercial is to earn a second conversation with this person or the employer, whoever it is that you're introducing yourself to. Your goal is to have them be curious enough to want to go deeper with you. We all want to make an introduction that is memorable. First impressions are important. So how can we do that in a way that leaves that person that you are either interviewing with or meeting at a networking event, or even just while you're out and about? How can you make that impression last? How can you be unforgettable? A couple of facts I need to share with you. First, we are goldfish. Well, not exactly, but our attention span is about the length of goldfish. Lasts about 8 to 12 seconds. So, now that we know that we have about 8 to 12 seconds to catch and hold somebody's attention. So it's important what we say at the beginning. Fact number 2. We can only hold about 3 or 4 things in our brain at once at a time. After that, we just kind of forget. We don't listen and we kind of check out. So that's why it's easier to hold numbers in 3s or 4s. When we remember a phone number, which I'm not used to doing that anymore because it's been so, I just store numbers, in our phones. But when we used to remember phone numbers, we would remember them because they were in blocks of 3s and 4s. So knowing what we know about our brains and about the way that we remember things and the way that we are able to kind of group things together, we want to create a 30-second commercial, or really a lasting impression, an introduction of ourselves that engages the person that we are meeting and also shares something important about us with them, about how we can help them. Here are the 4 things you need to remember before you get to work on your 30-second commercial. First, make it brief. Second, make it personal. Third, make it interesting. Fourth, make it confident. Be you. Don't apologize for it. All right. So there are 4 parts to your 30-second commercial, and you can adapt it for any situation. The key is understanding what situation you're in and how you're going to adapt it to use it accordingly. So the 4-part 30-second commercial is going to include your name, your superpower, and we'll get to what that means in just a little bit. This is your unique purpose, your reason for doing what you do. Your experience. This is going to be all of the relevant experience for the direction that you're headed. Not necessarily where you've been, although that's helpful, but it's where you want to go. And the last thing is your unique benefit or value that you're going to add to this role or position or company that you are seeking to apply with, or that you are interviewing with. Or if this is not either of those situations, this is still the unique benefit that you can bring to any environment that is professional. So what do you want to include in your 30-second commercial, and what do you not need? So what you want is your name, your superpower, your experience, your unique value or benefit, and then your call to action, what you're asking for. What you want to leave out is your university name. Nobody really cares where you graduated from, I guess, unless you graduated from Harvard or Yale or some other very prestigious university. Your hobbies, you don't really need to include that. You don't need to include any kind of family information. You don't need to include any personal information that isn't relevant to what you're asking for. And finally, you do not need to include a detailed description of your qualifications. It's not like you're repeating your resume. That's not what this is. So the first thing we want to address is, what is your superpower? What is a superpower? So your superpower is something that you feel that you do really well. And this is not necessarily related to the skills that you've learned. This is sort of deeper than that. It's who you are on a deeper level, how you interact with others, what you offer to others, how you help people be better people. It's something that people may have come to you for over time and multiple times and asked you for help with. It's something that maybe somebody has said to you or said about you, and you've heard it in passing, or said about you to you, and you think, man, that surprises you, right? It's something like, wow, I do that? Yeah, that's your superpower. And there may be more than one. And that's great. We can use them all. I realize I haven't introduced myself. Let me do that. So I'm Deanna Ramirez, and I am a master at mediation, making connections with people and disarming their defenses so that I can help people function better together. Using my 13 years of experience in coaching, training, and teaching across the higher education, nonprofit, and corporate worlds, I design and deliver coaching and training programs that invite people and teams to identify areas for growth and development and help them initiate change and motivate them towards that, resulting in transformation and authentic human connection. I wonder, what does your organization do to develop and work on the people that it has in order to level them up? So what was that? Well, that was one version of my 30-second commercial. I have multiple ones, and they don't always end in a question. Sometimes they end in a statement or a way that I can already offer my services, even a shorter call to action. I offer a free consultation. I'd love to talk to you about how I can help you level up your life. Your second part is your experience in education. If you don't have a lot of experience in the place that you are seeking to go towards, or the job you're trying to get, then you'll want to leverage your education and the skills that you have. If you have a lot of experience, you don't necessarily have to address your education specifically, unless you think that it will help you as you try to get the position that you are seeking. So, for example, I have a lot of experience in education and in training, and though I do have 2 degrees, I didn't even mention them because I feel like my experience speaks for itself. So that's the second part. The third part is what you are doing. How are you connecting with the potential values of the organization or the company or the person that you're meeting? How are you able to offer them something in a way that benefits them? Solving their problem or helping to solve their problem, or identifying a way that you can add value. That's the third part. And the fourth part is your call to action. What do you want them to do? How are you going to kind of seal the deal, if you will? So I have a couple of templates that I'm going to show you right now that will allow you to use, you can adapt for your use. And one of them is based on the example that I gave you of my own commercial. And I have used this 30-second commercial in many ways. The second template that I'm going to show you is a similar version, but it includes a phrase about how you solve a problem or help to ease the pain of some particular business issue that you may have done in the past, and so that you know that you can do it again for someone else. And then there are some examples of two individuals that are totally fictional, but are in two different fields, and you can see how each of them approach their own 30-second commercial. Now that you have your templates, you have your phrases that you can use let me share with you some phrases. Okay, so here are some other phrases that you can use, especially when you're trying to connect with a customer's potential values and fears. We want to work towards how we can help alleviate their fears and add value to their company. So you can use phrases like, ease the burden of managing, and then ... whatever it is you're managing. Help you feel confident that your company's ... are ... whatever that is in your field of interest or expertise. Ensure that you have an accurate ... of your company's ... Reduce the effects of ... within your department's ... Optimize the productivity of ... for increasing overall outcomes in ... There are so many ways you can provide your special benefit, your unique benefit to the company and the department or role or position that you would be working in. You just have to be intentional about the language that you choose to use. Your language that you choose to use needs to be simple, direct, remove any jargon or complicated phrases. Try not to use any acronyms, anything that someone might not know immediately. Make the language something that you use all the time. It needs to be something that you are comfortable with. And that way it will be easily retrievable by your mind in a stressful situation. Because let's face it, anytime you're meeting someone new, it's a stressful situation. Let's recap. Don't use any jargon. Pick clear, direct, and simple language. Use language that you're comfortable with in your vocabulary. Rehearse. Practice, practice, practice. Say it over and over again. You say it in the mirror. Record yourself doing it. Watch that recording. Do it over and over until that rehearsal, until that practice makes it feel natural to you. And you are able to retrieve a version of it at any given point of time. Overall, be enthusiastic. Enthusiasm speaks louder than words. We become what we believe. So you have to believe what you say and get excited about it. I am excited about what I do. I love doing this with you. I genuinely love helping to make connections with people. and helping to level them up, getting them to function better. I want you to win so that I can win. We all win together. So again, the primary focus of your 30-second commercial is to earn your way into a deeper conversation, to connect with somebody who is curious enough to ask you for more. I've enjoyed taking this time with you, and I hope that this has been helpful on a couple of different levels. If you have any remaining questions or thoughts, please feel free to reach out.